Hi, it's Barry Coons from Tech Doodles. I'm here with Anna from Commvault, your CMO. Do you want to give a little bit of overview of your role at Commvault, please?
Yeah, certainly. So I'm the Chief Market Officer, and the Chief Market Officer means I get to look at where markets are heading, what's important, what's coming up in the landscape, and then I get to ultimately look at our portfolio and how do we position and build for the future state. So that's what a Chief Market Officer does.
Fantastic. And we're obviously here at your Shift event, amazing location here at BAFTA in London. I really like the name Shift because it is really the theme of everything that's going on. And the first thing, there's a major shift in your organisation. I think previously you focused on that data protection, which is still an important part of your organisation, but now about cyber resiliency. Do you want to talk about that story a little bit and how that's come about and your future destination, I suppose?
Yeah, definitely. So, certainly, like I said, market landscapes are always shifting, and what's happened in the world of not only in cyber threats, but in all areas where your data is at threat, is the ability to recover. The industry for so long has protected its data more from endpoints and firewalls, and perhaps there hasn't been enough focus on protecting inside the data. And so what cyber resiliency is, it's a methodology to bring back, to recover as much and as fast as you can. And you can do that a lot better today when you're thinking about protecting within the data, and then you're also thinking about maximum points and places for the most definitive recovery.
I think someone said today that previously you start with those firewalls and I used to take a data first approach, kind of data outwards from that perspective. And I think that's really important. And from my perspective, I think this comes about from a number of shifts, and this has been one of the themes today, this kind of explosion of data, the hybrid nature of data, that whilst it used to be in your data center, it's now gone everywhere. Lots of people's thought process hasn't changed on how you protect that data. So I think that's very important, having that sort of data-centric approach, isn't it?
Right, well, think about it. So when data lives everywhere, what you're actually doing, the ability to protect it becomes much more difficult, because if you're protecting it only in isolation, you might have one form of protection on-prem, a different form in the cloud, a different methodology in colos, and every time you add all these different point product data protection tools, you have the point product resourcing implications, and you're just actually increasing the threat posture. You're actually making it more complicated to protect. Although you're protecting a piece of data, managing the totality of the protection has got to be simplified, and we certainly think we do that here at Commvault.
Definitely, and I think when people think of Commvault, the traditional thing is that kind of backup and recovery, but what we've heard a lot about today are sort of the threat intelligence things, that you're looking into the data, you're providing insights to that data and what might be going on with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So when the data can actually give you signal, it can actually talk to your endpoints, it can talk to your SIEM and SOAR, but when you can actually look at early detection that's happening within the data, you certainly makes your entire security tool chain more effective. But furthermore, it also gives better signal into recovery, and recovery is the emphasis. You've got market forces focusing on recovery. So when you think about what's happening right now, you've got the rise of cybercrime, ransomware, threats than ever before. What's the best way to put that out? Transparency. So you have regulatory agencies, you've got governments, you've got mandates now that you have to expose, that you've been exposed, and you have to report, and even further, more action coming, you've got to prove that you've got a plan and that your plan is going to work. And so you see all of this, this kind of market force of, wait a minute, we used to say, check, we've got an incident response plan, but I think of Mike Tyson, everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face. If you don't know your plan is going to work, do you really have a plan? And so you see, the recovery now really needing to be tested. And this is another exciting development from Commvault. For the first time, really outside of a very expensive model, the ability to do clean room recovery in the cloud. You can spin up a clean room. You can bring in all your crown jewels through an Azure tenant into a clean room, and you can actually work with your data. So you can actually run tests. You can do forensic analysis, and of course you can do failover production as well. This is a huge market development because that need to be able to test, it just hasn't existed before in a way that's cost effective and manageable, and we're really excited to bring an offer to the market.
Definitely, I think that clean room recovery is a real differentiator, because I've always said that DR or incident response is only as good as the last time you've been able to test it.
Totally.
And this actually gives you the tools to be able to do that. It's working with Azure and sort of attaching quickly from a storage perspective with the whole orchestration layer around it. So I think that's going to be a real game changer for the people that are using the Commvault platform. And you spoke about a price point that just makes sense for people that are leveraging it. So the final piece then is Arlie. So everyone's talking about AI at the moment. Microsoft have recently made big announcements around Copilot. Talk to me about how Arlie is going to change the life of a Commvault admin.
I think the easiest thing is that Arlie is there to constantly prompt and suggest, have you checked this, you should look at this, why isn't, why am I having difficulties in this area or in this workload, Arlie? Well, you're having difficulties because of this. Have you thought about doing this? It's just removing human error. Like, humans will always think down a certain thought path, and I think Arlie and bringing it into the product real time to go, actually, I have signal that suggests this. Why don't we run this? It just works alongside you to eliminate a lot of human error and also just human hours. So we're really excited about what Arlie's going to do.
Yeah, I love this idea of AI being your assistant, and to me that's what Arlie is. We saw demos today of it showing an admin, look, you can do this by this and this. It wasn't making the change, it was helping them, educating them on how to go and do that. So really excited by all the stuff we've seen at Shift, and thank you ever so much for all your time today.
My pleasure.